Howdy folks, Shinjitama here. Got a new video for you. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been at least about a month or so since my last major update, and I finally got off my ass, reinstalled Windows, did a whole lot of major updates, and got some new gameplay footage. And well, this will be the last of the old footage here. Starts off when coming up, it's going to be in my South Carolina class. These are all footage from back in the beta. Well, we'll just sit back and watch and see how the show progresses. Unfortunately, some of the other footages I was unable to save due to the beta replay system. I had a whole lot of stock footage just piled up, and yeah, it just doesn't work when when you go to a nice little update and it's suddenly no longer plays. So, yeah, what we have here, we have me and Charles in both in South Carolina class battleships. We've got Roxas up here in his carrier. Well, carrier gameplay back then is a little bit different than it is now, but I'm sure it's going to get hammered out. I figured it's going to be just fine. But let's watch the game and see where we go. As you notice, we start off heading a little bit towards the south, what used to be the old New Dawn map. If you've seen the new map, you'll notice that A and C have been swapped, and these island formations on the northwest and southeast sections have all been removed just about. It opens up the map quite a bit to a whole lot of the gameplay. No longer does it funnel people in around C and A, whereas now they can pretty much go wherever they need to be. It's not bad by any means. I actually prefer the new map to the old map, but I kind of did enjoy the wonderful, horrific battles that you could get up by what is now A on the New Dawn map. I mean, we still have that kind of battles. Matter of fact, I've got for next week's episode, we have I have my Arkansas, and yeah, we kind of have a similar battle strategy, but it's not nearly as bad as it was. Okay, let's get to this battle. I'll quit rambling and start actually commentating. Yeah, back then you could actually shoot down aircraft, and I'm sitting there watching the birds, watching the planes. This nice, wonderful view. I must say the new Battleship Spotter camera is a very nice thing. Very, very nice thing. And in come these nice, wonderful ships here. Got a cruiser over here on the left coming up towards one of our cruisers on the left-hand side. They're dueling it out and have not 100% certain, but I believe he is just about to eat some torpedoes there if he does not change his course. Unfortunately, the destroyer just bought the farm. One ships you never want to just assume that they're not going to give you a problem, man. Those are Phoenix and Omaha cruisers. These things will beat the living tar out of you. And you must, absolutely must, watch out for their torpedo salvos. These things will tear you up. If you don't have the upgraded Omaha, you have access to the other torpedoes. 4 sets of torpedoes instead of just 2 sets, one on each, on the port and starboard. Ah, great. And yeah, he just ate some torpedoes. Ron White said it best, you can't fix stupid. Doesn't necessarily mean what he did was stupid, but, you know, running aground's running aground. Although I can't really complain because how many times have I run aground? And I do believe I do it in just a minute. But I think I get away with it, but we're gonna go with that. And the salvo out. You can always tell the not modern battleships, especially with those trimast. Now that's going to be a New York that just ate it, completely just bought the farm. That's St. Louis coming up in the rear. These little puppies right here, St. Louis will definitely give you a run for your money. Now I don't understand, and this was a bit of a bug when we first had the domination kind of style right here. It would count down like you were about to lose the game. Kind of glad that bug kind of went away, but it wasn't too terribly bad. Ooh, he bought it. He bought it, all right. Gotta love a destroyer. Somebody got their torpedoes off. Let's see if this nice, wonderful South Carolina, St. Louis eats any of it. Unfortunately, I don't believe it does. I fire a salvo out. I do hit him through the smoke, but it does not do a whole lot of damage. Oh, and here he comes out of the smoke again. And, oh, I don't believe that is that is not the St. Louis. There's the St. Louis. Let's see if we can make him kiss the donkey. Salvo out. And I do believe that will take a chunk of the health. What I don't know is this nice, wonderful New York. Me and him are going to have some fun later on. And it's going to be interesting, I'll give it that. But let's see if I can make this St. Louis see the lights of the day. Now back then, we would do a lot of Citadel hits. And it was I actually liked the way they changed things. You gotta like dispersion right there. Fires first battery, and the one barrel hits me on the bow, the other barrel hits me in the stern. So, yeah. I'm not exactly a fan of exactly how they did the dispersion on some of the battleships, but that's me. And I actually have to apologize. I misidentified this ship. This is actually an Wyoming class, not the New York. The New York's much further back. I don't quite realize it until later on in this match. But yeah, the New York's the one I've got to deal with, and it's fun. I'm coming around this headland over here on this side to see if I can see if I can head off this Arkansas, my apologies, this Wyoming. And, well, remember that comment about you can't fix stupid? Well, you can't fire through solid land either. I do have to say that I usually play too much from the third-person view. I'm not going to say that I don't aim my shots, but it's way too easy to get tunnel vision. I don't know if I'm going to kill him with this. Oh, I do. The salvo gets the Wyoming and takes her down. I will ask this. One thing I would like to see people mention in the comments. What is your view of the current paint scheme, per se, of the U.S. warships versus what we had in the beta? Do you miss the battleship blue? Do you prefer the battleship gray? Let me know what you think. And I'm on fire, and I got the destroyer in a blind shot through the smoke. Ah, torpedoes. Everybody loves to surf.
Problem solved, sir.
Problem solved, not so much. I will say this, the new skills are much nicer than the old ones, but they do come at a cost. We are currently winning. We've got 5. Well, I wouldn't say that we're currently winning, but we are currently winning due to the fact that we have 2 of the flag points, and it is still an even match. It's still 5 versus 5, and I am half health. And people are trying to make me go low. I believe this is a destroyer that's actually coming around behind me that's trying to light me up. Yeah. Here's the torpedoes. I'm not going back for them. Would you go back for torpedoes? Do you want the torpedoes? Is that what? No, I don't want them. You can have them. Planes are spotting. Planes are dueling. No, sadly, those were torpedo bombers. Not really much of an aerial duel there. More like being shot down, but they are engaging this New York that I'm about to have a wonderful gunnery duel with. I mean, I could describe to you all day long and give you heads up to it, but let's just watch the show. Let's get these fireworks started. I fire the first salvo. His secondaries are lighting up. And the first salvo hits me in the bow and amidships. Torpedo bombers trying to interfere with our duel. No, we're not going to have that. We're going to nicely use that American driving muscle there and avoid the torpedo. I fire another salvo. 3 of its shots hit. I miss. I turn to starboard. He turns to starboard. And let's get it dancing on. Now bear in mind, my saving grace is a simple fact that his aft 3 turrets are not the ones primarily looking at me. I got lucky here. I really should have gone down with this one. And he fires, skips off the hull, hits me again. How it does not take me down, I'm not quite certain. I fire again. Let's see what we got. He's not down just yet. He's down. He's down. I am alive. Uh-oh. I hear torps. Somebody torped in New York. I'm alive. I am alive. And this is towards the end of the match. This was a good battle. We ended up winning this. I believe we capped it out. I mean, I know we didn't destroy both those other ships in the last few seconds. I did manage to get a couple of hits there, but by no means did we sink anything. We ended up winning this one out, and it goes into the next. Unfortunately, I was unable to get the after-action report screen, so I'm not exactly certain what my score was on that, but we go into this next battle, and it is with the Cleveland class. Well, let's get this battle started and see where we go. I'm in the Cleveland class on the left-hand side of the map, and Major is in his Cleveland class on the right-hand side of the map. That's a bit of a tongue twister there. Cleveland class. Maybe we could twist that even more and see how many times we can say that fast. But let's get started in this and see where we go. I turn to starboard and start heading towards the way to catch up with Major and help him on the right-hand side of the map. Although doing this, I'm thinking this might not be a smart idea due to the fact, in retrospect, I can see I'm leaving the left-hand side of this map wide open, and we have two carriers down at the bottom of the map. This is not always a good idea. I am passing one of our battleships right now as they, well, they're kind of, how do I put it? You know, going to the left of the map. But yeah.
The enemy team has taken the lead.
And I open up on this battleship. Rounds are almost, oh yeah, they're hitting, they're hitting. From the looks of it, it might be an Arkansas or a New York. Not quite certain just yet, but you never want to just assume. Well, two of the battleships are going towards the left-hand flank now. It's not exactly 100% of a bad thing that I'm going this way. But at the same time, we have no ships anywhere on A or C. This could turn bad real quick. Now, sadly enough, both destroyers that went over to A have bought the dust. Neither one of them are alive. That's a bad thing, because it means more than likely one of the destroyers is over there with them. One of our destroyers, our only remaining destroyer, is the one that took B. And I open up on this destroyer with a really, really poorly aimed shot. There's no, that's not even a country mile. And I'm still missing. I never said I was the best shot on the planet. I do believe these, and these are, it's in the right ballpark, but it's not going to hit him. I'm opening up again. Is this going to hit? No. No. It just drops aft of him. I fire out front. Still nothing. Well, however, Major just tears the ship a new. We'll see how much seawater he can open in on the side, apparently. And here come the torps. Dive bombers overhead. I hear the torpedoes, but I ignore it for the most part and don't exactly know where it's coming from. Never did fully see exactly where those torpedoes torpedo pinger was showing that it was at. Something that's nice that's new about the newer patch is it does tell you exactly where the torpedoes are coming from. Whether it be torpedoes to port, torpedoes front, torpedoes aft, torpedoes to stern, torpedoes to starboard. I actually turned back to try and help kill some of these aircraft. That way it would be less of a burden on our carrier. I don't know how well it did, but I shot down a few planes. I shot down just about a single squadron. That's about it. Well, ooh, what do we have here? It's a battleship, and it's shooting at me. And here comes some dive. These are not dive bombers. These are torpedo bombers. This is where I kind of needed to save my skill, was to get these little buggers, because these can hurt ships horribly. And after the new patch, if you're strike fit, as I call it, you can just about one-shot a carrier, a battleship, a cruiser, heck, even a destroyer, if you just strangle them with nothing but torpedo waves of planes. I mean, it can provide an absolutely daunting task just to avoid. And that salvo missed. Hey, look what we got over here! Hi! Hello, Fussel and Dink. Let's see. Can I hit you a few more times? Can I hit him? Yes. Just rain up those targets. Targets. Yeah, we're firing the TARDIS. Now, granted, this battle's actually turning in our favor quite a bit. We have B, we have C. Now, granted, there's a battleship going into B, and I just set him on fire. I also just ran aground. How? I don't know. But that being said, back the ship up. See if we can get off the rocks. And something just shot me and set me on fire. I don't know what it was. Hey, look! That would be a battleship. That would be a Wyoming. And he has my name. And he just blew up my number 2 turret. Leave me alone. One tactic I kind of do to battleships. Now, granted, it's more so now than it was before 4.0. Use HE when you're at close range, hidden superstructure. Use AP for the longer range engagements, because against a battleship at close range, AP from a cruiser, you're not going to do a whole lot of damage against that hull. Now, the one thing I don't realize just quite yet is just how badly I have set this ship on fire. But it's okay, we'll get back to that in just a few minutes when I finally realize something. Notice I just set it on fire again. And my AA is going off. I'm being dived on. And I don't have a repair ability for another 15 seconds. Not too bad, I'm about half health, so I should be okay. Other than all the nice, wonderful men in the number 2 turret, they're a little bit dead right now. Shot down another plane!
Anti-aircraft gun crews on alert.
And if you're not paying attention, hey, look, the Wyoming. Look who I just sank. I set him on fire. I burned him to the ground. And I just citadeled this carrier with HE. What the heck? I just citadeled him again with HE. And I turn back, fire a couple of salvos. All the while trying to get up on this carrier. Now, what I don't realize at the moment, and it takes me a second to realize it, both carriers are right here. And I can't afford to take another hit. Not a single one. He just citadeled me and knocked everything off. The whole time now, I'm pretty much screaming, ow, ow, mommy make it stop, mommy make it stop. Yeah, that one kind of hurt. All hands abandon ship. All hands abandon ship. Women and children in the life rafts first. What am I talking? Lifeboat rules. Everybody for themselves. Hey, Verso, you couldn't taken a hit for me? Thanks so much. Wait, come back. Come back. Come back! I don't think he's gonna come back. Well, let's see what else we can see. And we'll swap over to him. This is a New York class. I will say this. I'm being from Texas. I like the USS Texas. I wish they would have made the anti-aircraft armament on this ship more accurate to what it was. Now, granted, that also being said, you probably wouldn't have been able to get a plane near the thing if she had her true accurate armament, because she had quite a bit. If you've ever been aboard the USS Texas, you know they're missing anti-aircraft guns that were on top of the number 2 turret, anti-aircraft guns that were on top of the number 4 turret, anti-aircraft guns that were on the stern, specifically extra Bofor mounts, as well as other 5-inch mounts and other Orlican mounts. So I swap over to watching Major. This is Major Petrov, one of my friends, and we game with him from time to time. And Major's just sailing forward. What I've figured out at this point is the carrier is actually up on about the number 2 line of like B. So he's trying to get over there to intercept. All they've got left is a single cruiser and a carrier. We've got 3 battleships and a cruiser. There's almost nothing that they can do to stop the loss here. But, hey, you never know. I mean, think about Jingles. You never know. You can always hand the victory straight from the clutches of victory, straight into the jaws of defeat.
Our team has taken the lead.
Let's see what we got.
The enemy is about to win.
And the game just kind of belched right there. Major? Major! Uh-oh. I think I'm being left behind. I'm not certain. He may have just kicked the cameraman off the ship here. Well, this is interesting. Ah! My apologies. It might have been a belch on my system there. Here come the anti-aircraft guns firing up at the aircraft. Dive bombers, they missed the target. They do not connect with that one. Oh, and he shot 2 of them down, 3 of them down, 4 of them down. I will say this, the Cleveland is a mean anti-aircraft platform. About the only thing I would say is has more, maybe the Des Moines, maybe the Atlanta if you have her on anti-aircraft fire. Looking back so far throughout this battle, 132 hits fired. 132 shells hit. 6 set fire. Oof. That's a brutal hit. Let's get this battle started and see where we go. I'm in my New Mexico. I've got Major in, I believe, is New York. This is going to be an interesting battle. This is the main reason I chose this battle over one of the newer ones that I recorded today. As many of you know, that they took the Kitakami out of the game. Or not took it out of the game, they took it out of the store, and I'm not 100% certain that they'll return it to the game later on. From what I was told, that was removed from the game entirely. If that's true, this would be the last time you probably see it on any of my channels. I never really had a problem out of the Kitakami. She was a glass cannon. She really couldn't take a hit for nothing. I mean, she wasn't bad by any means, but she really couldn't take a hit. I mean, that being said, where could you possibly go right with that one? Let's see. Well, by the way, this is the ocean map for those that have not seen it. I'm not a fan of it. Most players really kinda aren't. It's not a bad map. This is not a map that I want to play every day of the week. This map typically will draw you into an engagement that you have absolutely no way of breaking engagement as far as breaking cover. The only way to break the engagement is to ducktail, run, and get away from the enemy. That being said, sometimes it's easier said than done. That being the case, well, let's see what we can get done here. I believe we've now got a single fighter. No, that is a dive bomber coming in, or going back actually. There's 3 ships moving down to the south. The one recommendation I do say to everyone that ever plays, if you move as a fleet, you typically will win. Now, I say typically because that's not an absolute guarantee. I mean, obviously, you could still lose. But that being said, typically, if you move as a fleet, typically you will win. Especially on open ocean map. If you don't move as a fleet, you're just asking for it, because they will literally chew up one side of your fleet and then come get the rest of you. Maybe you're God, maybe you're the greatest player on the planet. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure that I couldn't beat that. Now the New Mexico here is a really decent ship. She's got 12 14-inch guns, I believe. These are not bad by any means. It's not until you get to the Colorado class that you actually get the 16-inch guns. Now, however, those are the first iteration of the 16-inch guns, and they're not the greatest things on the planet. These, however, 12 14s. It's a decent upgrade from the New York class, but it's not the godliest upgrade. Now, if you can tell by this video that this is, as I've said many times before, this is not patch 0.4.0. As you can tell, New Mexico does not have the spotter plane sitting on her fantail. I'm not a fan of the big yellow bust that you get. It's not bad, but the spotted aircraft on the ships, I think, need the better paint schemes, because I don't remember any battleships with yellow planes, but then again, I might be wrong. Now this nice little cruiser over here is taking a pounding all the way across the map. I'm sighting in, I'm ready to fire. Salvo out. Will these hit? Will they hit? I can already tell you no. I wasn't too far off. Had I aimed a little bit forward, it might have struck him, but this is it. This is an extreme long-range firing. I'm gonna tell you right now, you hit a destroyer of extreme long range, my hat's off to you. Now, I just fired those shots long in the dark. I'm not certain that they're gonna hit, and I'm almost certain that they're not gonna hit. But they did straddle the target, and that was not a bad salvo either. But I still keep aiming the same damn distance from the target. It's not until now that I'm starting to actually look at the right spot. But even then, I pulled off target, and I'm no longer sighted in. Let's see if I can get him with this salvo. These, I believe, are going to connect. Oh, is it coming in? Oh, wow!
Enemy cruiser destroyed!
He must have been low on health, because I know I didn't get a Citadel on that one. Incoming dive bombers over me. I start doing a little bit of the zigzag pattern in the hopes that they won't target me. Kitakami over on the far side has fired torps. You can kind of notice, I believe we have a Kitakami on our side because, well, how do you put it? Now, I don't know why I chose to eat that torpedo.
Hull breach, we're taking on water quickly.
But that was piss poor surfing at its finest. Now you notice that we have a whole lot of torps on our side going their way. I want to say that is Cyber.
Sir.
I believe he has the Kitakami, but don't quote me just yet. I will swap over and watch the Kitakami that is on our side later in the match, because he does do a fairly good battle. Although I kind of just give a bit of a spoiler what's going to happen to me, because I can't swap over without being dead, so. But I certainly am not going down without a fight. I suddenly noticed that, hey, I'm out in front. Who likes being out in front? I don't. Why? Because everybody starts shooting at you. I open up, and then I kind of realize I'm shooting at the back end of a carrier that's moving away from me. And you can see the smoke stacks going up as she is started underway. Skipped around off the top of the turret, took a little bit of damage. What is that? I'm not quite certain. But I see a carrier. I fire a salvo out, pass it way over the carrier as it goes after that nice little battleship on the far side. I am literally a one-shot hair's breadth from dying, and it is not pretty. I immediately begin to try and disengage from this battle. Oh, salvos coming in, rounds just dropping all around me. I turn hard to port, hoping to avoid this torpedo that's coming up. Come to a complete stop, hoping and praying it's not going to hit me. All ahead flank. Let's see if we can get what we can do. I've got to get away from this combat. Something's hit me, and that's not feeling good. I use my repair ability again, but I only get about maybe a fifth of my health bar back. Now I do have several more of those. I do have 2. The question is, will I have enough time to be able to use them while dodging fire from these other capital ships who are just playing into me before this New York says, hey, I want some of that. And I think he's looking at me. I'm probably about to kiss the donkey. Holy mother of God, I just citadeled him. Let's see if I can hit him. Can I get another shot? Can I get him with another one? Maybe not. Well, it wasn't meant to be, was it? Because I'm probably gonna die. I'm gonna die, you're gonna die, we're all gonna die. How that round did not take me out, I don't know. And I swing it just barely missing a salvo. That one's gonna get me, though. Yep. Well, you win some, you lose some. Hey, look! This Kitakama is using me as cover! Really? Just scrape the hull. You couldn't just let me sink. At this point, I start rooting on the Kitakami. And he takes down the New York class over there. I swap over Kaiserum. Kaiserum in his Cleveland class, Tier 6 cruiser. This is the last of the 6-inch gun cruisers. Now, I would like to see, if Wargaming, if you happen to be listening, I would like to see the Brooklyn class in the game. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's nothing like having not as good of a Cleveland as far as anti-aircraft guns go, but it's not bad seeing a 5-turret version of a Cleveland, basically. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Although the Brooklyn is actually classified as a heavy cruiser, before the cruisers had started getting the 8-inch guns. Pensacola, the Northampton, I believe the Northampton had 8-inch guns. Don't quite quote me on that one, but we'll get around to it. I do believe this one is a victory, but let's keep watching as this goes on. Guys are firing salvos at this battleship, just knocked off a quarter of his health. See, this is, I'm pretty certain that this one was before 0.3, 0.1, when they redid the hulling of the ships, because once they redid the hulling, you didn't quite get citadels so easily. I mean, quite literally, in a battleship before 0.3, 0.1, I could just about citadel kill a cruiser in probably one salvo, if I manage to land every shot amidships. Now I swap over seeing this wonderful, huge wave right here. Cyber God. Torpedoes, 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 torpedoes out. This is what the Kitakami was designed for. This is what the Kitakami was good at. Gets set on fire, he immediately puts this thing out. Now granted, when I say this ship has a glass jaw, you notice that right as I swapped to him, he had most of his health, took only a few hits, and gets knocked down to a third of what he had. A third of his health. Now the Kitakami is designed to throw torps. Just a wall of these things. And I mean, this thing can tear people apart. Is he gonna get him with this torpedo bow? Is he gonna get him? Only 2 ships left. One's just literally a one shot. They're both just about a one shot. We're down to 4 minutes left in the game. One's burning, they're both burning, they're about to die. Did he get him? Is he gonna get him? He sank one, and the other one's about to go down too. Yep, there they go. That turned into a victory. Very nice amount. And remember folks, if you enjoyed the show, if you will, give me a like and a subscribe, and until next time.